and I'm reading your Tucked In Tuesday story tonight. It's called Pigsty, and it's written by Mark Teague. I hope you like it as much as I do. Monday afternoon, Wendell Foltz's mother told him to clean his room. "It's turning into a pigsty," she said. Wendell went upstairs. Much to his surprise, a large pig was sitting on his bed. The whining you hear in the background is my dog, Grace. She's just talking and wants attention. That's my dog, Gracie. She looks like a teddy bear. "Pardon me," said Wendell. He shoved some toys into his closet, but the pig didn't seem to mind the mess, and Wendell found that he didn't mind the pig either. He decided to take a break. When Wendell's mother came to look at his room, the pig was hiding, but the mess was still there. She threw up her hands. "Okay, Wendell," she said, "if you want to live in a pigsty, that's up to you." Grace. Wendell could hardly believe his luck. "Now I can live however I want." He didn't even worry when he came home on Tuesday and found a second pig in his room. The mess had grown a bit worse, but he was able to jam most of it under his bed. "Pigs are all right," he said, "as long as it's only one or two." In fact, they had a wonderful time. They played Monopoly until late each night and left the pieces lying all over the floor. They had paper airplane wars and pillow fights. The bed became a trampoline. Then 2 more pigs showed up. The mess just grew and grew. That night, when Wendell went to bed, the pigs were lying everywhere. They rolled up in his blankets and hogged his pillows, too. Wendell told himself he didn't mind, but then he found hoof prints on his comic books. And Friday, when he got home from school, he saw that someone had been sitting on his basketball. And his baseball cards were chewed. "That does it," said Wendell. "I've had enough." He ran downstairs to tell his mother. "Sorry," she said, "but your room is your responsibility." She handed him a broom. Wendell started to complain. The mess was too huge. But suddenly he remembered a saying he'd heard, that many hooves make light work. He marched upstairs and organized a cleaning crew. I love the pigs' faces in this picture. They look so funny. They swept and scoured, polished and scrubbed. Later that afternoon, Wendell inspected his room and pronounced it clean. In fact, it was a bit too clean from a pig's point of view. So, while Wendell inspected, the pigs prepared to go home. One of them made a phone call, and a farm truck came to pick them up. They hugged and grunted and oinked goodbye. From that day on, Wendell kept his room clean. Except for those nights when his friends came by to play Monopoly. And that's the end of Pigsty by Mark Teague. And now I'm going to just read a short book that is a very good night book. It's called Grandfather Twilight. I don't have a book cover because it's so old, but it's called Grandfather Twilight by Barbara Berger. And the pictures in here are very beautiful. Grandfather Twilight lives among the trees. When day is done, he closes his book, combs his beard, and puts on his jacket. Next, he opens a wooden chest that is filled with an endless strand of pearls. He lifts the strand, takes one pearl from it, and closes the chest again. Holding the pearl in his hand, Grandfather Twilight goes for a walk. The pearl grows larger with every step. Leaves begin to whisper. Little birds hush. There's Grandfather Twilight taking his walk. See the twilight following him. There he goes. Walking through the forest. Here he is, right at the ocean. Gently, he gives the pearl to the silence above the sea. Then Grandfather Twilight goes home again. He gets ready for bed. And he goes to sleep. Look at his covers, how pretty that is with all the clouds and the twilight colors. Good night. And that's the end of Grandfather Twilight. Good night, everybody.